We've got a few of tonight's Just Price Vinyl Records, and they're awesome. They are so awesome. Do you know why they're so awesome?
No, why are they so awesome?
Because we've got Dave Mason fun facts.
Ooh, Dave Mason.
Now you may be asking yourself, where is Dave Mason?
Yeah, where is Dave Mason?
Why am I holding this album?
Traffic.
Yes, he was in the band Traffic, and he made Mr. Fantasy with them,
Okay.
but then he quit.
Really?
So the original cover that's red, we just had one, don't have one right now, did have him on it. But they're kind of all in shadow, so you can't really see them all very clearly. But then when they did the American reissue, they did it like this.
Huh.
And Mr. Dave Mason is nowhere to be found.
Nowhere to be found, you're right.
But then he got back together with them in 1969.
Really?
Yeah, and they made Traffic, Traffic.
Okay.
And the first song on here is by Dave Mason, and there he is right there.
And there he is, yeah.
You know, so that's awesome, except then he left again. But I don't know why they allowed him to stay on the album cover if it was just so good, the pictures, because I mean, you got to admit, these are great pictures.
Did he have that much input into the album, maybe?
Well, that's what the very first song is by him, and then Feeling All Right was like a big hit for them.
Okay.
So I would expect he just contributed so much that they couldn't
That's
get
what I'm
rid of
thinking
him.
too, yeah.
You know, which is awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Because he's an amazing songwriter. He's written over 100 songs.
Oh, I didn't know
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and he has 3 gold albums and 1 platinum album, and he was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Okay, I knew he was inducted. That I did
So
hear.
we've got Dave Mason, Alone Together, and this one's really cool.
Oh, yes.
And this was his first gold album.
Really? Mm-hmm. Very nice.
Yeah, and it's a really cool color.
Yeah.
So that's cool too. And we've got Dave Mason and Cass Elliot, because he worked with a lot of other great artists
Okay.
as well as himself. So that's cool, right?
That is cool. Very cool.
Mama Cass.
Yeah.
And then we've got Dave Mason, Headkeeper.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to listen to a little more Dave Mason.
Mm-hmm. It's like you never left. So that makes you think, wow, what's like you never left?
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
That could go a lot of places with that.
Baby, please, it's like you never left. So it's like a theme album. And then Dave Mason, he's live. And then we've got Dave Mason, and this was another one of his gold albums.
Nice.
The best of Dave Mason, which I don't know how they chose the best. I have no idea.
That's always a difficult
because I mean,
thing.
there's so many good songs, and thankfully they put out the best before he was done.
Oh, that's good.
You know,
That's good.
Dave Mason split Coconuts, and it's a demonstration, not for sale, and it's a white label promo, so that's
Very
pretty
nice.
cool. We like our white label.
I
promos.
like them too.
The labels are just so clean. And
I know.
neat, you know. So that's always really cool. So one of the other amazing things that Dave Mason did, because you know this is Dave Mason at his best, but on Electric Ladyland with Jimi Hendrix, he played acoustic guitar on All Along the Watchtower.
Really?
Isn't that awesome?
That is awesome.
You know, he's gotten to work with a lot of really
Yeah,
great
he
people,
has.
You know? And then we've got Dave Mason, and he's certified live, he's live! And it's got the time strip.
Nice.
And then Dave Mason, Let It Flow. Now, this was his platinum album.
Okay.
And this one had the top 10 hit single, We Just Disagree. And kind of, if you think about it, like almost every one of his albums has a song that could be written about traffic.
Oh, yeah, okay.
You know?
Okay.
So it's kind of funny.
So he
you
never
know?
really left.
Yeah. And then we've got the very best of Dave Mason, because the best isn't good enough. We need the very best.
What was the name of that song before? Something about not leaving, or like you never left?
Yeah, Like You Never Left. That
There
was
you
the
go.
title of the album.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
maybe there's something there.
Oh, and then we've got Dave Mason, Mariposa Diora, and this was another gold album of his.
Nice.
And then we have George Harrison, All Things Must Pass, because he was on, Dave Mason either played on or contributed to so many great albums like Electric Ladyland and George Harrison, All Things Must Pass.
Really?
And 2 Different Wings albums. You know, he's
Wow,
really
he's
great.
really been
You know,
around,
he's
yeah.
really been around. He's really great. He's worked with a lot of great people, not
Wow.
just Mama Cass. You know, so isn't that awesome?
That is very awesome.
You know, so
yeah.
it's so great that Dave Mason's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. 'Cause,
Should be.
You know, he's awesome.
Yeah.
You know, so yay, Dave
Yay.
Mason. And then we got some other really cool Just Price Vinyl records, because we've got Led Zeppelin 3, Bob Dylan, Planet Waves, and this is a quad.
Ooh, nice.
Isn't that exciting? It's a quad.
That's cool.
And we've got Frank Turner. This is from 2012. And then this vaguely creepy one.
That's a cool cover. I like it.
It is a cool cover, but it is vaguely creepy.
Yeah, a little bit.
But, you know, it's like, why does nobody want to put stuff on the front cover anymore? You know?
Yeah. What's changed?
It's just kind of funny that nobody wants. Oh, and we got this Record Store Day promo album. It's still sealed. It's from Record Store Day 2013.
2013.
And it's got Killing Joke,
Oh, yeah.
Kate Nash.
Oh, yeah.
Really cool
Very
stuff.
nice, yeah.
Yeah. And then we've got the Beatles, Rolling Stones, Let It Bleed, Bill Wyman. Oh, speaking of the Rolling Stones, he also contributed to Beggar's Banquet. Rolling
Really?
Stones. Yes. See, I told
He's
you,
been on
Dave
everything.
Mason is awesome.
Maybe that's why he kept off the record. He didn't, you know.
He's been on or contributed to almost as many albums as Todd Rundgren.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, we've got the Beach Boys, Shut Down Volume 2, and this one is awesome because it is so very clean.
Nice.
Steely Dan, Can't Buy a Thrill, Jim Morrison, Elton John, the Eagles, and it does have the poster.
Nice.
The Byrds play Dylan. How cool is that?
That's got to be interesting.
Yeah, I think this was a really great.
Yeah.
And then we got David Bowie Changes One, The Who, another Who. Who are you?
Who are you?
Who are you? Who? The Who, It's Hard. Yes!
Yes!
It's yes!
No.
Songs. And it's the accordion.
Oh.
Jefferson Airplane, Jefferson Starship, another Jefferson Starship, Eric Clapton, and another Eric Clapton, Hall & Oates, Vanilla Fudge, and another Vanilla Fudge, and they're in very nice shape.
Nice.
James Gang. Oh, and they're live! James Gang is live.
Cool.
And we've got the best of the James Gang, U2, and they're live, Under a Blood Red Sky.
Nice.
Van Morrison, Aerosmith, Boston, because it's
Aliens.
Speaking of Blood Red Skies and Aliens,
And
I
Aliens.
am now on season 6 of the 100.
Cool.
And, you know, now they're aliens because they're on another planet. And I think I saw a red sky. So I had to share. Jimmy Buffett, Jim Croce, another Jim Croce, The Motels, Genesis, and they're live!
Cool.
The Cars, Honey Drippers, Steve Winwood, Cat Stevens, Marshall Tuck Band, and another one, and another one. And then we've got Dan Fogelberg, Bob Marley, and the Wailers, The Birth of a Legend with Peter Tosh.
Oh, cool.
That's pretty cool.
That is cool, yeah.
Grease, go Grease Lightning, you're burning down the quarter mile. Grease Lightning, go Grease Lightning. Miami Vice, Blues Brothers, Atlantic Rhythm and Blues, 47 to 74. That's a long time.
That is a long time.
The Temptations, Roberta Flack, Joan Baez, Arlo Guthrie, Crystal Gayle, another Crystal Gayle, Harry Chapin, Janice Ian.
Yeah, what is that?
It's world music.
Oh, okay.
I told you I had a record. I was going to go. That's what it says. And then we've got Bob Newhart. And speaking of Bob Newhart, I went hiking one time in the viaducts of Blairstown.
Okay.
And if you go into the third viaduct, you have to cross a rope and hold on to a
Oh,
rope
really?
to get to it. There's a rope on top and a rope on the bottom. It has a whole shrine to Bob Newhart.
Really?
I hope it's still there.
Really?
Yeah, it's crazy. And then we've got 24 greatest Looney Tunes.
Looney
songs.
Tunes.
Beep, beep, beep. That's all,
That's
folks.
all, folks.
So now, Mr. Cameraman, we need a poll.
We need a poll. Okay.
We need a poll. So how about we go over there in those records? You take that side, I take that
Okay.
side. We can pick out the better record.
A better record.
Yes, that we haven't picked before.
Oh, that we haven't picked before.
Yeah, you have to try very hard to not pick one that we've already picked before.
Oh, boy. That we haven't picked before. Oh, man, there's too much stuff here. Jeez, if I can remember what we picked before. I'm going to have to ask you on this one. Have we? Maybe not. We done this one?
I don't think so.
Okay.
You're safe.
Okay, because I really like that record.
Okay.
And here
Well,
we go.
I'm ready. If you're ready,
I'm
Spaghetti.
ready. There you go.
I picked out the premiere album of the first edition because Kenny Rogers doing psych rock is pretty cool.
I have to give that a listen.
Yeah, it's actually pretty cool. And Mr. Cameraman picked out.
Paul Simon, Graceland.
It's like, you gotta say it.
Okay.
So now there's gonna be a little eye on top of that screen. Click that sucker and vote for his Paul Simon.
Great
or
album.
For the first edition.
And that's got to be interesting.
Kenny Rogers doing Psych Rock. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So now you gotta leave us a comment and let us know what your favorite record in this box is, because there's some really awesome stuff. You gotta give us a big old thumbs up, because everybody likes thumbs up, because when you do good, you get good. You gotta head over to our eBay store, Spin Me Around store, because there's some really awesome cassette auctions up there, all
nice.
All metal-y,
Cool.
grungy,
Grungy.
promo, demo stuff. It's really cool. And then you have to subscribe. Ring that bell, ding, 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 because we do a video like this every night, and I'll see you tomorrow. And I'm just waiting for you to fall.
Won't
One
happen.
time, just go boom.
Won't happen.
As I go, Geronimo!